M1A2 Abrams versus modern ATGMs. While the Abrams is still feared for years, the M1A2 Abrams has been labeled obsolete. Critics argue that modern warfare has outpaced heavy armor, pointing to drones, precision-guided weapons, and advanced anti-tank guided missiles, such as the Javelin, Cornet, and Spike. According to this narrative, tanks are simply too large, too visible, and too vulnerable to survive on today's battlefield. Yet despite decades of predictions about its demise, the Abrams remains one of the most feared ground combat vehicles in existence. The real issue is not whether modern ATGMs are lethal. They absolutely are. The real question is why the Abrams continues to survive and fight effectively despite them. Modern anti-tank missiles are specifically designed to exploit a tank's weakest points. Top attack weapons like the Javelin arc upward before striking the thinner armor above the turret. Other systems, such as the Cornet, rely on tandem warheads intended to defeat reactive armor before penetrating the main armor beneath. On paper, these weapons appear decisive. Their penetration ratings exceed the armor thickness of many tanks, and their guidance systems are highly accurate. But real combat rarely reflects controlled test conditions. The Abrams was never designed to rely on a single layer of protection. Its survivability is built around layered defense. Composite Chobham armor, reinforced with depleted uranium in later variants, is designed to disrupt shape-charged jets and reduce penetration effectiveness. Reactive armor and countermeasures add additional complexity, forcing missiles to fight through multiple defensive layers before reaching the crew compartment. Each layer increases the chance that a hit is degraded rather than catastrophic. Even when the Abrams is struck, its design prioritizes crew survival above all else. Ammunition is stored in armored compartments equipped with blowout panels that vent explosions upward and away from the crew. This design has saved countless lives in combat and is one of the most important differences between the Abrams and many foreign tanks. In numerous engagements, Abrams tanks have been damaged rather than destroyed, allowing crews to survive and vehicles to be recovered, repaired, and returned to service. Mobility is another critical factor often overlooked. While the Abrams is heavy, it is not slow. Its gas turbine engine provides rapid acceleration and allows it to reposition quickly across the battlefield. This mobility enables Abrams units to exploit terrain, change angles, and avoid predictable movement patterns. Anti-tank missile teams depend on preparation time, stable firing positions, and clear lines of sight. A tank that is constantly moving and maneuvering is far harder to track and engage than a stationary target. How the Abrams is employed matters just as much as how it is built. Abrams tanks do not fight alone. They operate inside combined arms formations where infantry, engineers, drones, artillery, electronic warfare, and air power all exist to reduce the effectiveness of enemy anti-tank teams. Missile operators must expose themselves to observe, track, and guide their weapons. On a modern battlefield filled with sensors and rapid counterfire, that exposure is often fatal. There is also a cost exchange reality that favors the Abrams. A missile team may destroy or damage a tank, but doing so often requires multiple systems, coordination, and significant risk. Meanwhile, the loss of trained crews, time, and momentum can outweigh the tactical value of a single vehicle kill. The Abrams is designed not just to survive hits, but to impose disproportionate costs on the enemy attempting to destroy it. Combat history reinforces this reality. Abrams tanks have been hit by anti-tank weapons in real-world conflicts, yet catastrophic losses remain rare. Crews frequently survive these engagements, and vehicles are often recovered rather than written off as total losses. This stands in sharp contrast to tanks that are permanently destroyed once penetrated. The Abrams is not invincible, no tank is. But it was never designed to be invulnerable. It was designed to absorb damage, protect its crew, and continue fighting in an environment filled with lethal threats. Modern ATGMs have changed the battlefield, but they have not made the tank irrelevant. As long as wars are decided by control of terrain and decisive ground power, heavily protected and well-supported tanks will remain essential. The Abrams is feared not because it cannot be destroyed, but because destroying it requires coordination, exposure, and risk that few enemies are willing to accept.